Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte touches down in Moscow 4 a.m. Tuesday, Manila time, to begin his 4-day official visit to Russia. Duterte was given a red carpet welcome. After resting for a full day Tuesday, he will be conferred his first honorary doctorate degree as president by the Moscow State Institute of International Relations Wednesday. The president will join a roundtable of Filipino and Russian business leaders in the evening. On Thursday, Duterte and his cabinet will have an expanded bilateral meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin and his ministers at the Kremlin. The two presidents will witness the signing of various deals, including one on defense cooperation. Duterte and Putin are expected to enter into an even smaller meeting and may even be a one-on-one between the two leaders. This will be the third time Duterte will meet Putin, whom he calls his idol. Their first meeting was in November 2016 during the APEC summit in Peru. They met again in Beijing at the Belt and Road Forum. On Thursday evening, Duterte will speak at a gathering of Filipinos based in Russia and nearby states. Later that night, he'll grant a one-on-one interview with Russian TV, a major English language news channel. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte touches down in Moscow 4 a.m. Tuesday, Manila time, to begin his 4-day official visit to Russia. Duterte was given a red carpet welcome. After resting for a full day Tuesday, he will be conferred his first honorary doctorate degree as president by the Moscow State Institute of International Relations Wednesday. The president will join a roundtable of Filipino and Russian business leaders in the evening. On Thursday, Duterte and his cabinet will have an expanded bilateral meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin and his ministers at the Kremlin. The two presidents will witness the signing of various deals, including one on defense cooperation. Duterte and Putin are expected to enter into an even smaller meeting and may even be a one-on-one between the two leaders. This will be the third time Duterte will meet Putin, whom he calls his idol. Their first meeting was in November 2016 during the APEC summit in Peru. They met again in Beijing at the Belt and Road Forum. On Thursday evening, Duterte will speak at a gathering of Filipinos based in Russia and nearby states. Later that night, he'll grant a one-on-one interview with Russian TV, a major English language news channel.
Some other contentious terms that need to be settled for more synchronization of language include a number of terms used by the NDF, such as refeudalization, remonopolization of agricultural lands, because some landlord lands were supposed to be subjected to CARB, but then they were gradually and by insidious methods taken back by the landlords or their fronts. So these lands were refeudalized, and then the landlords were able to remonopolize. Some estimate of what are achievable in the process. As far as ARRD or agrarian reform is concerned, the estimate of the NDF, and we sense the GRT2, is that there will not be much difficulty in unifying soon in regard to agrarian reform and rural development. Yeah, I think they agree. In regard to nationalization, discussions have only been at the initial stage.
Itinuturing na pinakamalayong naabot na sa negosasyong pakikipagpayapaan ng pamahalaan sa National Democratic Front ang isasagawang 5th round ng peace talks sa May 27 hanggang June 1 sa the Netherlands. Subalit umamin ng National Democratic Front na hanggat walang kasunduang napagtitibay sa pagitan ng pamahalaan at makakaliwang grupo, hindi makokontrol ng NDF ang armadong puwersa na bahagi nila. Ang New People's Army na anilay ipinagtatanggol lamang ang kanilang mga tauhan sa ibaba.
Hindi pa tapos yung peace talks. Yung NPA, yung CPP, NPA, they will continue with what they are doing. Hindi pwedeng kontrolin yan ng Ngayon, they have their own agenda and they have their own dynamics.
Samantala, target naman ng pamahalaang makapag-distribute ng nasa 200,000 ektarya ng lupain sa mga magsasaka sa buong bansa sa ilalim ng land reform ngayong 2017. Kabilang ito sa Comprehensive Agreement on Social and Economic Reforms o CASER na itinuturing na pundasyon ng peace talks ng GPH at NDF Peace Panel. Ang CASER ang sentro ng muling paghaharap ng magkabilang panig para sa 5th round ng peace talks. At ayon sa chairman ng Government Reciprocal Working Committee na si Roberto Ador, pinakamahirap sa mga isyong tatalakayin sa ilalim ng CASER ang national industrialization na nasa initial stage pa lang ng talakayan. Inaasahang mas lalawig pa ang usapan at pag-aaral na gagawin ng magkabilang panig hinggil sa issue.
Medyo mahirap yung sa industrialization because the position ng kabila ay i-nationalize yung mga industries, at least dun sa papel.
In regard to national industrialization, discussions have only been at the initial stage. Especially as the GRP panel has stated, much preparation still have to be made.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Philippines and Russia will sign a defense cooperation agreement and other bilateral deals when President Rodrigo Duterte goes on a 5-day official visit to the country next week. Duterte will visit the cities of Moscow and St. Petersburg during his visit from May 22 to 26, and will be accompanied by several cabinet officials and a large business delegation. Foreign Assistant Secretary Maria Clough Natividad said in a palace briefing Friday, May 19. Natividad said deals expected to be signed during the visit included Defense Cooperation Agreement, a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation between Russian and Philippine Security Councils, Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters, and an extradition treaty. The Defense Agreement, which will deal specifically with military and technical cooperation, will set the stage for the Philippines' possible acquisition of defense assets from Russia. The agreement on military technical cooperation will pave the way for the Philippines to explore a possibility of military procurement from Russia, said Natividad. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana had earlier confirmed he would sign a defense cooperation deal with Russia's defense ministry involving information sharing, training, and technical cooperation. Another expected outcome of the visit is the establishment of a Philippine Office of Defense Attaché in Moscow and a similar Russian office in Manila. The other highlights of the visit include a bilateral meeting of Duterte and his idol, Russian President Vladimir Putin, a visit to a St. Petersburg military shipyard, and a gathering with the Filipino community in Russia and nearby states. The Philippine leader will also have a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev. The growing number of Filipinos attending this event has prompted organizers to change the venue, Natividad said. Duterte will also give a speech at Russia's Moscow State Institute of International Relations, a world-renowned diplomatic school. He is expected to articulate his administration's commitment to pursue an independent foreign policy, said Natividad. Unlike Duterte's first visit to China, his Russia visit will only be an official visit, and not a state visit. An official visit is considered a level lower than a state visit in terms of ceremony and importance. However, Natividad said this is as important as a state visit if you look at the quality of meetings the president will be having with Russian officials. The decision on the type of visit was made by the Russian government as the inviting party. But Natividad is confident that Russia will still give Duterte a red carpet welcome. She also emphasized the significance of the visit as it is upon the invitation of Putin himself. The last Philippine president to visit Russia upon the invitation of its leaders was Fidel Ramos. The formal invitation to Duterte reached the Philippine government as early as January, but due to Duterte's busy schedule, which included hosting an Association of Southeast Asian Nations summit, the visit had to be pushed back. Another important factor that influenced the date of the visit was Russia's climate. Natividad admitted they waited for good weather. Duterte previously spoke of an aversion to visiting countries during the cold season.
Why the Philippines is moving into Russia's arms. One of the weakest military forces in Southeast Asia is looking towards Russia to beef up its defense, after being denied weapons and criticized in the U.S. media for his take-no-prisoners policy against the drugs mafia. Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte has indicated he may turn to Moscow to provide his country with weapons. Last month, after the U.S. government reportedly blocked the sale of 26 assault rifles for police use due to concerns over Duterte's war on drugs, in which around 2,000 people have been killed, the Filipino strongman said. I remember what the Russian diplomat said. Come to Russia, we have anything you need here. The armed forces of the Philippines, AFP, require an urgent infusion of modern weapons. But what the AFP doesn't need are expensive toys. High-performance and gas-guzzling warplanes like the F-16 offered by the U.S. or the South Korean F-A-50 Golden Eagle jet fighter are redundant for two reasons. 1. The Philippines has no external enemies. 2. Manila will never be able to afford these jets in sufficient numbers to be able to present a credible defense. Let's content ourselves with the propeller-driven planes, but which we can use extensively in counter-insurgency, Duterte said at a public meeting earlier this year. I don't need jets F-16, that's of no use to us, we don't intend to fight any country. About the F-A-50s, he said. Why did you buy that? Duterte. What a waste of money. You cannot use them for anti-insurgency, which is the problem at the moment. You can only use these for ceremonial flyby.